Lunchtime.
And steal your thunder this time.
We're doing like a cascade effect here in the video. Like A.Ron's enormous.
Yeah.
Cecily's just default bigger than me, and then I'm tiny over in the corner.
When I set everyone up, we were all in different positions.
Oh, okay. I can lean forward if it'll make me gigantic.
People probably can't tell, but we mirrored our office. We were slouching towards getting our studio set up.
Yeah.
Fixed it.
We were in this
Jesus.
What? I can't. I'm glad I can't see. We were in a triangle formation, and now we're in a Stonehenge formation. I guess if you imagine the way the stones. That's Cecily's the top stone, and me and Jim are the leg stones.
And we put in 9 other desks that are kind of arranged in a clock pattern. And
yeah,
they're all empty, but.
What's really cool is 2 or 3 times a year you can like tell when it's going to set the sun. The sun's going to set. So, but yeah, we did this because we are essentially with the we weren't getting much movement in the actual main set construction, and we were like have both halves of our studio in disarray because we had the temporary studio in one and this like kind of half-assed perpetual construction project in the other. And we decided to like, hey, let's move the studio into the construction zone, and then we can free up the other half that we can start actually doing things with. I actually like it. I like to change.
Yeah, and now it should be the case where when I'm looking at the camera, I'm looking at Aaron.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Jesus.
A.Ron.
Ted named him.
And
Doxed.
now when I look at Cecily, it looks like I'm actually looking at Cecily on the camera.
What happens when I look at Cecily?
You look like
Both.
you're looking at me.
What happens when Cecily looks at me?
Oh, wait.
It works.
Holy
it all works.
shit.
Oh, wow.
We have synchronized sight lines?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So
amazing.
this camera setup should be much less confusing when I'm looking off screen to talk to Cecily.
We just have a lot of organization to do now. Everything's like in a good, nice spot. We just got to, man, there's just what I can only describe as a folding table full of junk all arrayed around it. So many storage boxes that we have yet to sort through. This is boring.
Let's just throw the green screen fabric over it and it'll just disappear.
Yeah, there we do. Just throw a green blanket on it. No one can see it.
Get a pair of Google Glass and just green screen out the whole thing. You'll never know it's there.
Yeah.
You trip over it. You go to shut off the lights and you trip over a junk box.
Has anybody made any major life-changing events or decisions this week?
Well, we decided to take a pause on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yes,
Whoa.
that.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
Yeah, we hit pause. We got to the end of season 4. It's a 2-parter, Klingon Civil War arc being brought to conclusion, and introducing the fabulous Duras sisters, which I fucking love so much. But yeah, they so we got to this. We wrapped up that and got into first episode of season 5, and the next one's going to be Darmok.
Oh.
Which there's a Tenegra with the wall fell somewhere on the forums. He's gonna really be happy about that. But we paused it. I finished up The Good Place. I don't know. We're probably gonna wrap up season 2 of Dark maybe at some point. We also just have a shit ton of Halloween stuff to be watching.
Mostly Halloween movies.
And we did. Yeah. We started our Spooktacular. What did we see the other night? Spring. The same guys that made The Endless, which we liked. So we'll be talking about that pretty soon.
I think their first or second movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched The Endless for Double Hook Friday. This
That
Saturday.
was one of my topics I want to talk about. Double Hook Fridays happened again on Saturday. Nary a hook to be found.
No.
Our branch of the couple tree brought The Endless to the table, which me and Cecily talked about on the cinematic Spooktacular last year. What do you think?
Oh, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies that like rewards a close watch. The closest thing I can describe it to is like Primer in its tone, its feel. Like it's not the same subject matter. It's not about time travel, but it's also not about time travel. Like it's just very weird and very quiet and very indie. I just loved it.
What would you think? How do you think it worked as a horror film? Because there's definitely unsettling things.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was super scary, but it did have like you said, an unsettling vibe for good chunks of that movie.
Yeah,
and I thought it was going to go because it's all about these two brothers who used to be in a cult and got out, and they go back for one day to I don't know, because one brother really wants to.
Yeah.
And I expected it to lean, I guess, much more in that like type of horror direction, right? Like, oh, crazy cult.
It's gonna be some kind of ritual.
Try to murder you, yeah. And
here comes the bee. Here comes the bee hat. Right. Got Nick Cage pouring bees in his hat.
Exactly, and it kind of doesn't. It goes in a completely different, but probably much better direction.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple solid spooks, but in like the unsettling kind of like the kind of spooks you get from M. Night Shyamalan Signs, like when Mel Brooks is just looking out his window and he sees like a figure on the barn for like a half second, or like a leg like walks into the cornfield and you just barely see it at the edge of your vision, which I liked. It's kind of like, you know, just like goosebumps.
Yeah, it doesn't trade in like jump scares or anything like that.
The budget on that film, I think, was under $100,000. It's hard for me to believe that they were able to just film it, let alone like there's a couple of semi-decent special effects that they pull off too. It's like, can you just go to an effects and be like, hey, I got $20,000. Can you make like a tear in a fabric of time for me?
Maybe.
I don't know. I can maybe half tear. Do you want like a 1995 era, 2005 era, 2015 era, 1978? Okay. Get just gonna be rotoscoping shit on film. Yeah, it's cool. But I thought the breakout hit, maybe it's because I've seen Endless, is your girlfriend nominated Journey to the West, and I felt like she almost wavered. She's like, oh, this is too weird. I'm like, no, you gotta go with your guts. Double Hook Fridays. This is a 2014 Chinese film directed by Stephen Chow, who you might be familiar with his work on Shaolin Soccer or Kung Fu Hustle. He's kind of known for these, you know, pretty big budget comedic martial arts films. And this is essentially like ancient Chinese mythology Avengers. I did some research. This Journey to the West is like a very ancient. Well, I don't know ancient. It's like 400 or 500 years old. That's like a pittance in Chinese time.
Yeah, fair.
But a classic story about this monk who's trying to. I think he becomes one of the like an incarnation of Buddha. And it introduces this character of the Monkey King, which I kind of has entered my cultural consciousness through Fortnite, because there was a Asian New Year season, and like the top level skin is this Monkey King, and everyone's like, what the fuck is this Monkey King? Like, why do I want this monkey looking dude with 5 flags coming out of his ass? Well, it's because he's a fucking badass, and like the Monkey King is like this huge enduring Pan-Asian legacy. Dragon Ball Z is based on, like, Son Goku, I guess, is the Japanese pronunciation for Monkey King, and that's why he's got like a tail. And this is like a very there's like 17 different TV series, 12 different film series, and this is just kind of the latest one, but it's fucking amazing. It's got y'all Asian action. You just don't know what's going to happen. Like you in an American movie, if a child's endangered, you think that the hero is going to get there before. This movie, your child just might get eaten by a demon, like right in front of you. And the experience of being in our living room while this was happening, and we're all screaming as this thing just keeps escalating. This scene is like 30 minutes long.
The opening scene you're talking about,
Yes. Yeah. This is the opening of the film, is like a 30-minute set piece that you just like, you have to hydrate through. You're sweating. Like we were screaming like, no. And it's like, there's this comedy torture involving a baby, maybe being eaten by a demon. It's insane. I loved every bit about it. The action's great. The special effects is great. I thought the humor mostly translated very well.
Mostly, yeah.
This Shu Qi, which I guess is like this blockbuster star in China, who I think was the girl from the Transporter, the original Transporter that he was transporting.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't think I've seen her in anything else in the West, but she's just incredible. She like plays the lead heroine in the film.
One of the worst characters maybe in the entire movie.
Yeah, absolutely. It turns out that like she's a real badass, but she's kind of like shit everything else. And then she gets kind of fridged at the end of the movie. But yeah, she's like the protagonist is like I'm trying to think of what he's like a Scott Pilgrim type, except for less effective. He's a demon hunter, but he doesn't actually want to hunt demons. He wants to reform them.
Yeah, he has peculiar methods for hunting the demons.
And she's always coming in like and just completely like shutting demon shit down. He's like Manby. Like at one point he's singing this like redemption song and she comes in and beats the shit out of him. She got this really cool trick where she her finishing move is she scoops the demon into this sack and like squeezes it into the end where there's like the silver ball that she then unscrews and it reveals that the demon's been turned into this little like fabric origami thing.
Yeah.
And it's adorable.
It's so cute.
So many crazy ideas I've never seen in any other type of film. And I just, like when the Buddha finally starts whipping ass at the end, that his like giant palm technique is so fucking amazing.
Oh, was that guy the master foot?
Oh, the almighty foot.
Almighty foot.
Yeah. I still couldn't think of like that because that Buddha palm, it's like you think you know the gag. Like, oh, it's like you think it's big and then it just gets bigger and like, then you see like the whirls of his fingerprints and palm prints come in and it's like, okay. And then it gets like but it's still descending on the earth and now you're getting the where like you're in the DNA structure of his palm as it's smashing his character to the ground. It's fucking cool.
They use the Almighty Foot perfectly because they set him up in the beginning and they kind of tease what the Almighty Foot might be and what it might do with like a really big footprint. And they will let you sit for like an hour. Yeah. Not knowing if the Almighty Foot is even coming back.
Right.
The Almighty Foot potentially being the coolest thing in the entire movie. And then they finally give it to you toward the end. And I just loved it.
Lived up to expectations.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's super. I can't imagine a person sitting down and watching that if you're even have a little bit of a humor bone and a little bit of love for a kung fu movie or even superhero movies. It's just, and the best part is there's like a million of these Monkey King things.
Oh yeah.
And they all look like they're various shades of like bonkers, crazy. There's got a direct sequel that I think Stephen Chow was also involved in, maybe even starred in. Or at least plays a part in because he wasn't anywhere to be seen in this one after starring in the Shaolin Soccer and Kung Fu Hustle. But yeah, it's real good. Real good. Successful Double Hook Fridays.
How do you top that? I feel like
I don't know.
I'm worried we're going to get into this competition of trying to bring better and better movies.
Weirder, more obscure, funnier, crazier movies.
Yeah, it was a perfect way to end it though.
Where will it end? I debated about talking about this. On the one hand, it's super on brand to talk about my balls getting cut up. On the other hand, it's kind of personal, and also the like getting a vasectomy is not like inherently interesting. So I thought like as I was getting ready to undergo the procedure, I got a vasectomy, y'all, that I was just not going to talk about it. But then something so fucking crazy happened during it. So this doctor met me like 2 months, like a month and a half ago, to consult the vasectomy, and he basically comes into the room. He's like, "Hey, you want a vasectomy? Oh yeah, how old are you? How many kids you got? All right, well here it's super easy. Come back 6 weeks. Let's do this. Chop chop. It's like 5 minutes."
Are there wrong answers to that? How old are you and how many kids
like
do you have?
Like if you're 17 and you got -2 kids, maybe they're like, I don't know, kid. I don't know. I mean, I think, like the end that doesn't like if I'm 18. I can find a doctor to vasectomize me, right? Yeah. Like I don't care how many kids you got. Like if I just like no, I'm like it's still a free enough country that you have males have reproductive freedom. I think there's there's not a state that will refuse to give you a vasectomy.
It's a little bit too much reproductive freedom, if you ask me.
Some would say. Some would say. I did find it if we're just talking about the subject. There is something slightly unnerving about industrial scale human sterilization. Like this process is so quick and easy that in the wrong hands it'd be terrifying. Like holy shit, it's just so easy to make a person completely unable to reproduce, and that's a little. Every once in a while you come up with realities that confront the fact that you're just an animal. You're just a fucking animal. You're not any more special than any other animal, and you could be treated like an animal if a person sees you as that. And I felt like a little bit of that. I felt like I was like being sized up like a lamb in a butcher's hands. Anyway, it came out in the consultation because he asked me, like, you know, as he's doing paperwork, what do you do? And I mentioned, yeah, I do this podcast thing. And he's like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And we had a brief conversation. Again, this thing was like 5 minutes long. It's 6 weeks. Come in. He gives me the first of 3 shots per ball. So, of course, total of 9. And he starts doing the thing where he just starts having a conversation with you. So how's the podcast thing going? And I'm like, yeah, it's going pretty good. And he's like, this was the day after the Emmys. He wants to have an Emmys conversation with me. He's halfway through this procedure, and he drops on me, well, what do you think about, what do you think of Game of Thrones? And I kind of like, oh, you know, definitely, it seemed like a lot of people were disappointed. He drops on me the whole, yeah, I think people were too hard on the season. Like, you know, what were people expecting? Like, I don't know. Like, maybe I'm not the biggest Game of Thrones. And I'm like, sit there, it's like, this guy's got tiny nano machines in my scrotum, and now I completely doubt every bit of qualifications he's got. Like, if you paid attention to fucking medical school as much as you paid attention to Game of Thrones, and I'm terrified. I'm terrified. Because it turns out that, like, I don't know, is the story all going to be about my left testicle?
Maybe there should be a second interview.
It needs to be broken to complete the character arc. Like, what? If you're as crazy to goddamn double D's, I don't want you around mine.
Yeah, there needs to be a two-way interview. One where he asks you about your kids, how many kids you got, how old you are, and you ask him about Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
What do you think of Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Oh, you liked? I'm out of here.
Yeah.
See ya.
You think it was too much? You think people's expectations? It was fine. And yeah, he started defending like certain points of it, and I'm like, and what am I supposed to do? Like, am I supposed to fight back? Am I supposed to be like, you are so wrong? I've got like fucking statistical analysis to prove how outside of the norm that your opinion is. Like, he's got me at a supreme moral disadvantage here.
And physical too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's literally got me by the balls. So. That's my strange life. I had to listen to a doctor moralize about Game of Thrones season 8 while he was unmanning me.
Unmanning you.
Yep. All right. So
winter may be coming, but you're not.
Jesus.
All righty then. That's all I got. That's all I brought to the table, Jim. What do you got?
Thanks for sharing that.
How's your balls doing?
My balls are great.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've got no problems with balls, mine or anyone else's.
I hope we get another manscaping spot because I've got an endorsement for them.
Oh yeah, you probably had to do a real detailed trim.
Part of the doctor's orders was to shave my scrotum,
and it's not because that's necessary.
Twice.
He just doesn't like hair down there when he's operating.
He's just gross.
Yeah.
Ugh. Need it smooth.
He's one of those guys.
Dolphin smooth.
Yeah, as Cecily alluded to earlier, with big life-changing events, Alexis and I are going to get married. That's a pretty big deal.
What?
I suppose. But
we just found out like yesterday, y'all. So you're
yeah. So that's the thing. The Monkey King kind of ruined it because we like during that day.
That's why Buddha imprisoned him for 500 years in that mountain. He kept ruining people's engagement announcements.
Yeah, I kept waiting for Alexis to tell you, and she kept waiting for me to tell you. And never did we say like, "Hey, are you gonna tell them, or should I tell them?" And it just never happened that Saturday.
Like the Gophers and the Warner Brothers, like, no, I insist. After you.
You should have taken each other's hands and said it in unison.
Like
that's
Binars.
how you do it. Go to a mountaintop and announce it.
Yeah. So
do we have a date?
No, there's no date, and we're probably not gonna do a very traditional wedding. I don't think there's going to be really any ceremony. I think we're just going to get a bunch of friends because, like, I obviously don't have any family that I speak with except for my brother.
Right.
None of them. No one else
is
would
he in
be.
Country?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Yeah, he just bought a house in Indianapolis not too long ago.
Cool.
But yeah, so like I don't have any family to invite to a ceremony. Same with Alexis. She hasn't talked to her family anymore. So we're both like. It's just gonna be weird not to have like family, like the traditional ceremony kind of thing, or to have a ceremony kind of thing, because I don't know, we both kind of look at marriage as sort of just a natural extension of what we've already been doing for 3 years, which is living together and being happy. So I don't know, we're not planning on doing anything too crazy. Just maybe get a bunch of friends together for like a nice dinner or something, and just hang out and
I
have fun.
think
Celebrate.
it's super liberating to do the kind of wedding you want to do.
Yeah.
And I feel like that we, maybe we did a little bit something different if we had a little bit more time to plan. But like honestly, I felt like, it's just we did. We got married by one of our friends in a nice little private ceremony with all of our friends and family, and that's it's so interesting because like my mom wasn't there and her dad wasn't there, so we had like half the family present.
Your powers combined.
Yeah, we
we
had one nuclear family to put together. But yeah, I'm really happy for you guys.
Thanks. I'm happy for us too.
Can't wait for more Journey into the West collaborations from the Jones.
The Joneses?
We got to come up with a fake portmanteau of your guys' names.
Oh yeah.
We got the Hublands over here.
I thought it was Kirkman's.
Well, see, now you just outed half of my real names. This is why.
But we're not live.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
We can bleep it out.
We can cut all
Market
this.
it.
Fuck it. We'll pretend like we're
Video
live.
and audio.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Anyone else have any topics? Congratulations, Jim.
Thanks.
We have Bald Move employee number 4. She's joined us this week.
Oh yeah, who's that?
Who's that?
Opus.
Oh yeah.
With a Princess Leia wig and bunny ears.
And bunny ears.
Can we see?
I have the whole
camera?
assortment. Yeah.
No, wait a second. I'll just let me
Move the whole thing?
Let me turn this thing. Can you see him yet?
Yeah, mostly. No, too
Nope.
far.
Nope.
Too much. Like that. Like
I just
that?
really blocked the nose, but yeah.
Oh. How about that?
Yeah.
There. There's
Full on
Opus.
Opus?
Full.
It's apparently a gigantic lamp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see if I can put this back to where it was. It is a giant lamp. What's the backstory of this guy?
He was there when I started EBTH,
Uh-huh.
and he was not there when I left EBTH.
there was a semi-complicated heist involving multiple employees.
Anyway,
And,
yeah, semi-complicated. He didn't.
A balloon over the Alps.
He's too big to fit in my car.
Uh-huh.
So I put him in a crate and shipped him to Mexico, and then I snuck into Mexico and snuck him back out.
Right.
I don't know why I did that, but Opus, he's a man of mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah, Canada probably would have been closer.
I should have gone with Canada next time. Oh, well.
But I don't know. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
to have that as
I
decoration.
love Berkeley Breathed and Bloom County. That was kind of like one of my first brush of like adult politics. As my dad really liked that comic strip, and I tried to get into a lot of the things that my dad, because my dad is very rarely into things, so I tried to get into the things he was into. And I fucking love Opus, so I'm tickled to death. He's in. I think this is a custom job, like someone just like.
it certainly looks that way because you can tell it's because he's got pieces of his feet that are
like
missing.
Foam
It's
some kind of foam
styrofoam
injected.
and then plaster on top of that, and then someone painted on top of that.
Yeah.
And he's got enough like imperfections and like wonky spots that you can
Yeah.
tell someone handcrafted this thing.
But I would love to get some repair some of the plaster damage, and then get some shiny latex paint, touch him up, and
Get an actual lampshade.
lacquer him. Yeah, get him because I think that's the design. Like the classic drunk Opus is him with a nightshade on his head.
Nightshade.
And not a nightshade, a lampshade. Deadly nightshade on his head.
But the Princess Leia wig, which is of course from the non-Groundhog's Day marathon this year, fits him perfectly. Like it was made for it.
Yeah, it covers up that unsightly lamp socket until we get the lamp socket repaired. All right.
Yeah.
Welcome, employee number 4.
What are we paying that thing?
It's
Not enough.
bucket of sardines.
Okay.
Every bi-weekly sardine bucket.
All it can eat in electricity.
It's not even plugged in. We're really screwing him. He's an intern, an unplugged intern.
He's old too. He's got one of those old, like 2-pronged what do you call the mail end outlet things?
The mail in and out plug.
Plug. Yeah, that's the
Does that mean
word.
it's old though, because I feel like most modern lamps still aren't grounded.
I don't know. It's one of those ones that's like really thin. You can tell it's been there for a while, and it wouldn't pass any safety inspections
I'm thinking
today.
This guy's probably mid-80s if I was guessing.
Yeah.
But who
Yeah.
knows?
I'm glad he
early 90s.
gets to live here. Got him out of that hell.
He's a either young Gen Xer or a old millennial. Either way, fits right in.
Yes. You guys have anything else? Nope.
Eager to get to the cues.
I got a bunch of cues for your A's. If you want to ask your own cues, you can do so on Twitter, #BaldLunch, or forums.baldmove.com, and ask your questions there.
Yeah, there'll be a forum thread that has the Lunch with Jim and A.Ron and the day's date, and find that one. Or if it's not there, fucking make one.
Yeah.
Make it real easy.
Make 3, why not?
Yeah, the mods will just collapse them into one. It's cool.
Yeah. We need to keep them busy.
Yeah.
They don't have enough work to do already.
Yeah.
Okay, starting us off this week is Tulip Blossom, who, by the way, is the same person that sent you guys t-shirts this week.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
So thank you for that.
The podcaster t-shirts.
Artisanal. Yeah, I've got one of them right here.
I took mine home because I gotta wash all those things before I wear them. All t-shirts come in a weird, with a weird chemical smell.
Yeah, like they've been dry cleaned, and I feel like it fucks up my my skin. Can you see it?
Yep. It's backwards, but yep.
Artisanal. I'm backwards?
Guess so.
You cheated getting these sight lines. These are not authentic sight lines.
Well, you do
God
what you gotta
damn it. Now wait till I wear a tech shirt. But yeah, this is artisanal podcasting. Sometimes you get minor imperfections, like cameras reversed. Sight lines add up.
Oh no, you printed the shirt backward. How could you? Do you say backward or backwards?
Backwards? I'd say backwards. It's all you got your clothes on backwards.
Is there a proper way to say that?
I don't know.
Does it depend on what you're talking about?
I don't know.
Like if you're talking about
put your clothes on backward.
I think I use backwards if it's a verb, like you're driving backwards. If you have your shirt on backward, that's how I would use it.
Huh.
Generally.
Yeah, if you're an English professor,
I am
write
not.
in and
I don't know if people
let us
have noticed.
I'm not either.
I'm more of a hobbyist when it comes to the English language. I like to get in there and mix it up.
Yes, you do. Anyway, Tulip Blossom has a question. After dealing with many USPS issues in the past 2 weeks, I have decided that the dealing with USPS is the most unexpected difficulty when it comes to running my shop. Between the package that somehow accidentally got sent for a weekend in Maui when it was sent from Connecticut to South Carolina, or watching a package ping pong between 2 post offices for the last 5 days, I am over them. I don't know if you're referencing this package that you sent us as one of those, but that one had a lot of problems as well. They tried to deliver it twice here and said that no one was available, even though it's a whole building full of people, including someone sitting at the front desk.
Yeah, bullshit.
Anyway, she says, yeah. It made me wonder, what was the most unexpected difficulty you have experienced while running Bald Move? Was there something that made you say, I never thought this would be a problem, but here we are?
I mean, every couple months something like that happens.
Bald
We're just talking
Move
about
boners.
how concerned we are that we have a very, very full schedule and we don't have any spots in there for unplanned failures, which are going to happen. And they always happen in the worst time. It seems like every time a Russian boner pill operation takes over the website, we're both on video. The last time that happened, I was in Florida and you were in Rome or fucking Italy. And when that one thing happened where they were using our club as a credit card, what do they call that? Sniffer? Checker?
Yeah, they were tester. I guess.
They sent through thousands of credit cards through our club just to test to see if they, some hacker used to test to see if they're valid. That fucking dumped a lot of work on us. Yeah, I mean, most of the ones that have been really unpleasant surprises for us have been technical of nature. I feel your pain on physical shipping. It's the worst, man. I always cracks me up because our accountant mentioned something that we had something mixed up in the mail, and she's like, man, I don't know, maybe she's meaning implying that I was doing the old check in the mail routine, but I'm like, no, seriously, the check is in the mail. But she mentioned that never happened. So I'm like, haha. As a person that's sent several thousand packages in the last year or so, it happens more often than you think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you're getting a couple pieces of mail here and there and all that, but like, and again, the post office does an incredible job for the money that they charge. But oh yes, in aggregate, they even if they're 0.01% error rate in 1,000 packages, that's going to be at least one error, right? Maybe 10. I don't know how the math works out on that. But
UPS is just as bad. I think all of them.
None of them have, like, it used to be FedEx was pretty gold plated, but like I don't even think they have that rep anymore. They're probably the best, but they're also the most expensive as well.
All right. Tyler on Twitter says, have you guys checked out the James Townsend and Son YouTube channel? This guy is a historical interpreter that highlights 18th century cooking and recipes. It's wholesome, has a ton of content, and is my newest obsession. I
have not.
It seems interesting, like like that primitive technology guy.
Yeah,
where he's just very much channel. In character, wearing. It's like visiting Connor Prairie. Did you ever do that?
Yeah, that place. A couple like of those, you know, old American settlement type places. Usually pretty cool.
Wonder what the one in Ohio is, because I feel like there's got to be, but like I don't think Jack's ever done a field trip to like a Connor Prairie type. Anyway. Yeah.
Indianapolis has a ton of great places for kids to go. Like the Children's Museum is cool.
Oh, they've been tons of cool field trips. Like they went to COSI one time, and they went to the Nature Preserve last year. There's like what business did they tour that I thought was funny? Anyway,
COSI, they still had to drive all the way up to Columbus.
Yeah, that was an involved field trip.
Yeah. Cincinnati's got mostly just like adult fun things to do. Tons of bars and food places. Murder Bear. Hi there, Luncherinos. Have you ever gotten a text message from a political campaign? And A, how do you feel about them? B, have you ever engaged with them? I got a text yesterday from Margaret calling me by my name, asking if I would support Steve Beshear's campaign for governor of Kentucky. If you don't know, Matt Bevin is our current governor, and he's a walking dumpster fire wearing a jacket with Trump's face on it. Look it up. That's a thing he actually did. Oh, Jesus. I absolutely will support him because Bevin is trash, and I do think he will do a great job. He is our current AG, and I like a lot of his stances, but this isn't about that. This is about a text out of the blue, again, knowing my name, which weirded me out. I let it sit for a while and finally genuinely answered her question about what issue would like for him to address. Ended up having a nice, real conversation with this person. The whole time I was waiting for her to hit me up for money and it never happened. She did ask if I would have time to volunteer, but that was it. It's a thing that 9 times out of 10 I would have ignored but engaged for whatever reason and came away pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I've had this happen. I think it sucks. But what are you going to do?
Did you engage?
No. Nope, I ignored.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel the same way Jim does, and I actually was, I got texted by it seemed like a human being asking me for money for a political cause.
Didn't you get a call from the NRA once that you had a conversation?
Oh, yeah, the NRA, because I used to be a member of the NRA like 15 years ago, and they called me a lot in like 2016, 2017, and I had a lot of, because their script was essentially, you know, aren't you tired of the Democrats taking your guns? And it's, you know, like, and I'm like, let me stop you, right? Or something about like the liberals, crazy liberals. I'm like, let me stop you right there, motherfucker. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's the thing is like, I find it annoying in the same way I find every unsolicited contact annoying, but like, you got to get people engaged politically. And I quite enjoyed last year. Who was that congressperson that everybody was excited about? Shit.
Last year?
Yeah, it's not even Loki. It's fuck it. Anyway, some guy. Some guy actually came by and canvassed the neighborhood. And I was Aftab. There you go. I was working outside, and he just kind of struck up a conversation and handed me a flyer, and we had like a 2 or 3 minute conversation, and it did stick out to me because that was like before I had started paying attention to local races, and it caused me, because I'm like, the other thing is like he was very careful not to identify as like a Democrat or Republican, And the way, you can talk about issues in a very, like, everyone can agree with this, right, kind of way. It's like, if you're Jehovah's Witness and you start the conversation with people, like, wouldn't you love to, like, live in a paradise earth? Like, what kind of asshole is going to be like,
no, that sounds fucking terrible.
No, I found, like, how dare you? But it's like, that's not the pitch, right? That's the bait on the hook. And I'm like, you know what, this guy, because he's an older guy who was like 60, and he had this like really cute bicycle, and he had his little helmet on, and he had his little satchels with flyers and campaign material, and he had like a little flag coming out of it. And I thought it's like, this is I thanked him, because like this is a hard job, especially in a city divided like Cincinnati, where it's like you can't count on everybody on my street like being sympathetic to your views, and we need more engagement like that. But like, as a society, we have certainly not, like, we have adapted away from that kind of one-on-one kind of activism. It's kind of like something we like, someone comes up to us on the street and wants us to sign something. It's like, I don't know. We need to get more involved, but we're a lot more introverted politically, and I don't know how to square that circle, because our tribe, Jim, our secular humanist atheist tribe, just don't like to be around each other. We don't like to organize. We don't like to activate. We don't like to get shoulder to shoulder and show solidarity in the streets. That might be a fatal flaw in our approach.
Could be.
I don't know, but maybe the AI will save us.
Should have said, I'll vote for you, but you got to help me fix my fence.
There's those poison ivy I need you to deal with. Oh my God.
And it turns out he was wasting his time, because we were gerrymandered out of voting for him.
Yeah,
Anyway.
like he was three streets over too far. Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing.
Anyway.
Thank you, Murder Bear. Michael on Twitter says, how will the coverage of El Camino be done? In the classic Breaking Good style, full recap plus feedback with an instant cast after your first viewing, or just as a bald movie? Love the great work. Keep it up.
Probably bald movie. I mean, it's a movie. Recapping a 2+ hour thing takes a lot of fucking time. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we hadn't formally talked about this yet, but
there's no
I
way
assumed it would be like a movie.
An instant take, because what does that even mean in the context of
It'll be like
a streaming
movie, film?
Yeah, it means nothing. It's not instant for anybody but you.
At 4 a.m.
I mean, I guess like you could do it, like watch it for, but I'm just like, I don't think that's part of the secret sauce here.
No, our current plan is to record
movie,
and release it on Monday. And I assumed as a bald movie style.
Although I think it's probably going to be free for everybody.
Oh yeah, yeah. It won't be bald movie. It won't be like a first run kind of thing. It'll be more like the commissions used to be, where we just talk about the movie. And
what's the appetite? The thing is, I guess, what's the appetite for feedback? Because
we don't have a place to.
I wouldn't mind. What I'm saying is, I wouldn't mind extending the experience by doing like a feedback podcast like the week later. But I guess I have no idea how popular this podcast will be. Like, it wouldn't shock me if it's significantly smaller than the Breaking Bad audience, because I feel like a lot. There's it's been a long time, and Better Call Saul has not exactly built on that audience. Although I think it's a fine show on its own right. It wouldn't surprise me if it just does like standard bald movie / bald move traffic. And it also wouldn't surprise me if it's like 3-4 times bigger. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I like if we had like 3 or 4 times audience participation, I might be more inclined to do another one for feedback. But it's like, what kind of weird, fucking cam boy shit would that be? Like, depending on how many people download
right, I'll dump this bucket of ice in my pants.
If I get tipped 1,000 more credits in the next 30 minutes, then you'll get feedback. If not, I'm logging off.
Well, gotta make a living somehow.
Yeah.
But I think with the movie coming out on Friday and you guys not recording until Monday, you can get a sort of feel for feedback over the weekend. Because I'm certain the people who listen to Breaking Good still have the email address. I can solicit it on social media too.
Yeah, when you said feedback, that's what I assumed. We would give, those 2-3 days to collect feedback because we're not going to be covering it on Friday. Our schedule doesn't permit. And I also think our schedule does not permit us to create an entirely another feedback episode.
Nope.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Stop borrowing trouble.
Yeah, you're right. I was just talking about how we don't have enough time even for failures, and I'm just bending on the podcast.
Don't promise shit.
We don't even have time to edit the podcast we're doing.
Double dumbass on me. But I'm excited. That new trailer looks fucking incredible.
Man,
it looks like it's going to be a powerhouse. With power double hour with Aaron Paul.
I saw Jamie on the forums was not excited because of the tone of that thing, and she misses like old Jesse with the comedy relief and stuff like that. And I do too.
Yeah, Breaking Bad wasn't very funny to last.
Badger's in this. We've seen Badger, so there's gonna be some of that.
There's gotta be a little silver lining.
Yeah, it won't be Jesse. Jesse's not that guy anymore, but Badger still is.
I forgot how fucked up Jesse is at the end of that. He's like scarred and weathered, and they just.
And I think that's fortunate because I don't know that Aaron Paul pulls off Jesse Pinkman looking like Jesse Pinkman 5 years ago.
He had a hard time pulling that off in season 5.
Yes. So being scarred and dirty and
weathered,
tortured is probably the best thing he could have been at the end of that season.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be more time after the end of the
it looks
events.
like it's picking up with him in the fucking car driving away from the scene. I think I'm excited about that, but also maybe I want it to be more than that. I don't want it to be just his escape to Alaska, I guess.
Oh, I think it's his return. I think it seems to me that they're setting up that like maybe one of the Nazis lived.
Yeah.
And that he's coming back to settle business.
Yeah.
That's what I got. That's my theory.
It looks like he's searching for money too. You can see him digging in the desert, and I think he's in Walter White's house at some point, sitting on the ground.
He does go back,
Wild.
We'll see. I'm excited though.
Yeah. Noel.
He came back just to burn down the White's house.
He's the one that did all the spray painting
business, and the unfinished business. He had the gasoline out, and he just couldn't get the match out.
Noel says, Jim, as your future as a famous Italian guitarist, where would you choose to live? I visited Italy over the summer and very much enjoyed it. I visited Florence, Venice, and Rome. Out of those 3 cities, I felt most comfortable in Florence. I'm wondering if you would pick from those 3 or other cities like Milan or Naples, and I haven't had a chance to visit.
I haven't really. So I've been to Milan both times I went there, but only to fly in and then get the fuck out of there. Like you fly in, you take a train, and you leave Milan. I think as fast as you can. I don't. It's known for like fashion and like. I'm not a fashionista, so if you are, I'm sure Milan is amazing. There are probably just like 1,000 different places you want to see.
I'm surprised with your, worldwide fame with guitar playing that the fashion brands aren't trying to put their labels on you. Like you might not care about fashion. Fashion cares about you.
They try. I resist.
That's why you get the fuck out of there.
Yeah,
it's no sellout.
I'm too well known in Milan. Yeah. So I go to the smaller cities, like Florence and Rome. Actually, Florence and Rome are probably my top 2 choices of the places I've been.
I'm imagining like you going through the Milan airport, like that one dude in Airplane dodging the Moonies and the cults and Jehovah's Witness. You're like, can I put you in Tom Ford?
Yeah, exactly.
Vera Wang.
No, I think Florence would probably be my top pick, but Rome is a very, very close second. Rome's just bigger, but they both seem just as congested during the tourist season. Because I've gone off season and they're pretty congested with people. I can't imagine at the height of tourist season. And Venice is just no fucking way would I live there. The people who live there don't even want to live there because of all the tourists. Like, you can't move in that city during the summer months. So yeah, Florence or I've the only other 2 other cities I've been
Venice
to.
Smells like an open pit urinal.
Maybe in the summer it smelled totally fine when I was there in March.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you add
maybe
heat and humidity.
Yeah.
My brother went to France and told me that just everything smells like piss there.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that like the entire country or Paris?
Did I say France? I meant Paris.
France, yeah.
Paris.
The
whole country of France.
It had yellow wavy lines. It's like fog, only a yellow mist.
The lines.
That's what makes the grapes grow.
I've only been to 2 other cities, Bergamo and Bologna, but
those are made up names.
They are. I made them up. Damn, you caught me. Bologna is like a college town. I wouldn't really want to live there. Bergamo was beautiful, but it looks more like I don't know. Bergamo might be a place to live. That seems okay. It's way up by the mountains up there, by like right on near the border of Switzerland.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's really beautiful, and there are a lot of big. There's an area of it called Città Alta, which just means high city, and you walk up this fucking mountain, and then on the top there's this big, like, streets are all paved in cobblestone, lined with shops and lit up at night. There's a castle on top.
Cool.
It's incredible.
This is where they imprisoned the Italian monkey king, Wario.
That means Italian monkey in Italy. Yeah.
Full circle.
But yeah, Florence or Rome.
What do you look for in a city that you'd want to live? Like walkability, access to stores?
Definitely walkability in Italy. You don't want to live anywhere. It's hard to live somewhere where you need a car in Italy because everything's so dense where it's populated. But I think what I would look for is like something that is not overly crowded by tourists during the tourist season. And yeah, something that's very walkable, something that is, has some, maybe not the most beautiful sites, maybe not the most well-known destinations, but
more hidden charms.
Yeah, just something that's beautiful. It's hard to find something that's not over there.
When you go back to Italy next time, have you thought about like scouting out some of these like smaller places?
Well, that was the thing. I was wondering, okay, if I ever do move to Italy, what would that plan look like? It would probably look like get into a hub city where I'm living, full time, and then on weekends or whatever, take little road trips out to different, or train trips out to different like smaller cities to see where I would actually want to, kind of settle there.
Gotcha.
Because I mean, Italy's not an enormous country.
I imagine it takes a while to make your way up and down it though.
Yeah, north and south is brutal, but east to west, west to east, that's a pretty easy trip, and everything's like. The major cities are only like 2 hours apart. Like you can get from Rome to Florence in 2 hours. You can get from Florence to Venice in 2 hours on train. It's not bad.
Cool. Giovanna. This one is for A.Ron. I started reading the Game of Thrones books between season 7 and 8. I got through the first 3 books and decided to wait to do Feast and Dance until after what was sure to be an amazing season 8. Well, now I'm feeling kind of jaded. I'm missing Thrones something fierce, but I'm also worried about getting all wrapped up in Westeros only to have my heart broken again by the possibility of never getting GRRM's ending. What do you think? Should I let it go or should I head down the King's Road once more?
I mean, it's not going to kill you to read them. And the thing is, he hasn't even started on Feast or Dance.
Giovanna has not started on Feast and Dance. And Feast is a slog.
Yeah, like it's not a controversial opinion to state that Feast and Dance are the weakest of the books. Now that said, I've grown to appreciate them for what they are. But Feast especially, I remember like on my first through, like impatiently skipping entire new POV chapters because who the fuck cares? I want to see what's going on with Arya and all. And then like it's very much like the Two Towers, Return of the King, where like one book is half of the cast and that you care about, and the other book is the other half, and they're taking place at the exact same time. And there's a couple, like I know the Boiled Leather podcast put out a recommended reading guide that puts all the chapters in chronological order, which if you're willing to like bounce around and do all that. I think someone even made maybe like a Kindle reading list that like somehow digitally stitches all that stuff together. That'd be an interesting way to do it, but like I honestly, unless you've got like nothing else to read, I would recommend failing and picking it back up if the Winds of Winter gets written, and if people say that this starts to look like a return to form or a closing of the arc or whatever. Because, I mean, I'm just being honest. That's probably what I would do. Because I don't think there's going to be anything that's going to like satisfy you. You're not going to get to like the end of Dance and be like, oh, I know what Martin. Okay, I can see it's you're really not. You're really not going to get those feelings. So if that's what you're looking for, but it's also just it's great. It's very competently written high fantasy. So if you need more of that in your life, I mean, like I said, it's not going to kill you. George Martin's works probably won't kill you. I wonder if I'd recommend.
Would you recommend starting?
I was thinking about Fire, like just check out Fire and Blood, because I guess the second greenlit or the I'm not sure if this is greenlit or not yet, but I guess the second prequel series is going to be set in the Fire and Blood, Targaryen conquest and like the Dance of Dragons. Yeah, probably the Dance of Dragons era. So maybe give that a shot, but that's pretty dry. You got to be a pretty committed Game of Thrones fan to read the Targaryen history books, fake history books.
Yeah. The one that's been confirmed is going to be taking place in the Age of Heroes.
Yeah, that's the Long Night kind of.
Yeah.
The original Long Night. That's the Naomi Watts one.
Yeah. But if you want, would you recommend Giovanna reads the Expanse books? If you want space Game of Thrones?
I mean, yeah,
or just Space Jon Snow?
Thrones, the books are great, and they are actively being written at a pace about one a year.
Yep.
How many?
And they're almost done. They've got 7 or 8 of them out, and they're only supposed to be 9. So
yeah, so I think they have a clear ending, and everyone seems to be super high on it still through book, because I've only read through book 3. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that looks like it's Game of Thrones in space, and it might get it might actually end. Mm-hmm. Whereas, who knows the Game of Thrones? Who knows?
All right. AJM says, one lunch. Could you do a good old-fashioned draft? You know the deal. Worlds ended, zombies optional, and each have your own base. You can choose 3 TV characters equipped with their standard gear to join you. Only rule is they must be human. Bonus points if anyone can come up with someone better than Jim's pick of Owl from Home Improvement from the Blue Yonder zombie draft.
I think it's funny because my recollection of that episode is we all came to the table like I came prepared to win, you came prepared to make jokes, and Peter didn't come prepared. I don't think. Yeah, I fucking Tim the Toolman, Owl from Tim the Toolman.
And then there was just an epic Batman can't grow corn.
Yep.
That's where that whole thing came from.
Yep. That was pretty funny. I guess, like, what would we do it on? We need to have a solid draft concept.
Geek Babes 2.
Yeah, get Cecily's opinion. Get Cecily's opinion on it.
There's a lot of cringy shit in our Blue Yonder coverage, but
yeah, that's life.
Yeah, that's 10 years ago.
Struggle ever onward.
Yeah.
Forward.
No draft choices?
Oh, I want to do zombie
not
draft
on the spot
right
draft.
now.
No.
All right. Think about it. Get back to you.
When would be? That's the thing. Is like it's not just a zombie draft. I would like to come up with a different draft. Mm-hmm. We'd have to come up with a different concept and a different
Yeah,
team
I think the drafts
select.
were like a fun concept, fun idea.
Yeah,
and we got so much history now with television that it might be fun to sort of bring something back on that.
You know, it'd be fun. Now that I've been watching a lot of Star Trek, and I promise probably be watching a lot more. Ultimate Bridge Crew. And not just from Star Trek.
Oh.
Like you
From
want to bring
sci-fi
MacGyver.
bridges?
You can say that like.
So you will be in a Star Trek bridge.
Like one of the rules is like you can bring any character and they'll have their core skill sets and personality, but they'll know whatever they need. Like like if you have brought
that was my
Snow,
first question. Yeah,
the lead in the way team, he would understand transporters, phasers, and all that kind of stuff.
That's a good one. You should draft someone from Command, Science and Technology, and what's the other one?
Oh, the green, the red, and the blue uniform.
Yeah, one of each color.
Oh yeah.
No, you need a whole crew. You need you need operations, you need engineering, you need helm.
How big of a draft are you doing?
Well, the helm and concept same. Yeah, you need security. You need
security.
It's not called security, but Worf always mans it. He's the chief security officer.
He's chief of security.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but
the
his
station.
The tactical station.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
tactical.
Counselor?
But you can't. Okay, so you can't make the rule then that they have to be human.
Oh no, yeah.
Because there are plenty of non-humans.
Yeah.
But where do you draw the line? Like,
yeah, you're right.
because I still think Superman would be pretty fucking effective no matter what bridge crew he's
as
on.
the captain, yeah.
Yeah.
You'd
Or
have
Q.
you're right.
Like, could you bring in Q and just call it
Or
game
all
over?
Yeah.
all the powerful, like Nagila. Wasn't one of them Nagila?
I don't remember their
the
names.
fucking
but
Nebula
yeah,
monster that just decided he wanted to kill half of the crew of the Enterprise just because he could.
Just
Him, Q.
Fill your bridge with omnipotent beings.
The Sylvanian man I just got done watching in season 3. The ghost candle, the Scottish ghost candle that Crusher falls in love with.
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
You know what we ought to do? We ought to play a game with Cecily called Real Episode or Fake, where we pitch episode ideas to her, and she has to tell us whether they're an actual episode of Deep Space Nine, Star Trek: Next Generation, or Voyager, or something we're just fucking with her on. Because I bet she's 50-50.
Yes.
The Voyager shit gets even weirder too.
I know.
I can't believe some of the stuff I've even seen.
I know. You got to do 26 of these a year. Yeah. And a lot of these things are probably written on spec or by a guy making $150 a week.
Or Harry Crane.
Or 20 people at once.
Who's the guy in Mad Men who wrote the Star Trek script?
Oh shit.
Oh, was it Paul? No.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
No, Ken. The blonde?
No, it wasn't Ken.
But he did become a writer, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but there was another shittier writer.
The guy, the pipe smoker, right?
And he turned like Mooney or something.
Yeah, he turned into some kind of sci-fi cult himself.
Oh, yes.
I don't remember his name.
I can see his face in my mind.
Yeah, half of them were written by guys like that. So
Yeah.
Very punchable face. All those sales guys, sales interns.
Yeah, let's get a bag of White Castle and play that game.
That'd be a fun one though. That'd be good. Maybe that's something we can do around Picard. Like if a Picard preview, we'll draft their ultimate bridge crew.
Yeah.
Every week, we'll do a new bridge crew draft.
Oh,
yeah,
one thing I've been
that'd be fun.
doing is okay. We'll have a little bit of Trek talk. What is your favorite incarnation of Star Trek Enterprise?
Oh, the ship?
The ship itself. A, B, C, D, E, F.
Ooh, I'm trying to remember. There's not a
Classic,
ton
no
of difference
A?
between C and D.
How many
Like,
do we
visually, but probably D. I mean, I really like the look of D.
I have been like every time I see a particular angle of the ship where I think it looks especially beautiful, I've been taking a shot of it. Like it's I think it's my favorite spaceship of all time.
It's
The Enterprise
gorgeous.
D is amazing looking. It's just got a nice ass. It's got the big saucer. It's like fair.
I cannot lie.
Well armed without being bristling. Like the Sovereign class is a little warshipy for a Federation ship, you know.
What is that?
That's the
original.
It's the one that's in First Contact. The Enterprise.
Oh,
E.
okay, yeah.
I just love it. I love the fact that it's got that gimmicky saucer separation that they like. I think is important like 3 different times in the whole fucking series, including the movies.
Got that. Yeah.
Does the E separate?
Yeah. Don't they separate it the movie after First Contact? Well, what's it called? Insurrection?
Holy shit, maybe.
Yeah, because Riker crash lands that fucker on the planet.
I thought he crash lands that in Generations.
He probably does it most of the time. No, you might be right.
Because D gets crash landed,
right, yeah.
and like they surely wouldn't run that back at the movie after next.
No,
it's like
I
killing
think you're
Spock.
right. Yeah, so
It's like
D
killing
crash
Spock
lands
in
E.
2 and then killing him at the end of 4 too.
But surely the saucer section separates on
Why?
E, right?
Because that's what I'm thinking. Like I don't think there's families on board the E.
It says Sovereign class starships
When did that
lack
change?
the ability to separate their saucers.
All right.
What?
It's like a more militarized
mine is
warship, like battle cruiser kind of thing.
This is post-Borg. We're living a post-Borg
Yeah, we live
world.
in a post-Borg society.
Defiance just influencing design across the Federation.
A post-Wolf 359 society. A Federation traumatized by the dirty dealings of the Borg. Yeah, I fucking
shocked.
love the 1701D, man. It's best looking starship. I like it better than Millennium Falcon. I like it better than the Serenity. Those are all great ships, but goddamn, that D.
Gotta
It's
have
all
that
about
D.
It's got that good D.
Let's see. C Drive says, so in the Bald Move forums, we put a concert history thread going, and Murder Bear thought it would be a good idea to put this question to mom and dads for lunch. Gross. Please stop. Travis cosigns and C Drive posted, so it's everyone's fault. What is your concert history? What was your first concert?
It's super fucking embarrassing.
Mine too.
Mine's not.
Keep in mind, I was Jehovah's Witness.
Oh no!
So I was drugged. Like my first concert, were probably middle-aged women drugged me to. It was Billy Joel's River of Dreams.
Cool.
Which actually,
Yeah,
well,
okay.
it kind of embarrassing as a first, but it was a legit concert.
I bet.
He had this rotating stage with his fucking piano and like put on a hell of a show. Played tons of his classic hits as well as like the like the modern stuff he's got to. But like it was a nice long concert with at least one, maybe two, like what those stupid things where they pretend they're going to go away, but then they come out and play
Encores.
Yeah. That was my first.
That's
one.
not the worst concert you can go to for your first one.
What would be the worst one? Like
Let's find out Jim's.
Winger,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Like Nickelback.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Just something. Dave Matthews.
Sum 41.
Dave Matthews.
Oh, Sum 41.
I'll defend the Dave Matthews.
That wasn't
concert.
your first, was it?
No.
Oh, thank God.
No, my first was Spice Girls, because of course it was.
All
right.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
I mean, a little flash in the pan, but like that was probably a solid fucking concert.
Mm-hmm.
My first was MXPX, which is this might be the most embarrassing of all of these, actually. It's
I don't even know what that is.
Christian punk band.
Yes.
I didn't know at the time that it was a Christian punk band.
When did you realize? Like,
years later.
oh, okay, I say at the concert.
Oh my God, what?
Everyone's
Jesus?
doing the closed eyes, head down, arms up,
Right.
Jesus dancing.
Yeah, it took me by surprise. But no, MXPX, and it was at the Murat in the Egyptian room.
Cool.
It was super cool. It's a ton of fun. I was like 15.
You were 4:15?
I was 4:15.
5 minutes early.
I was either 14 or 15.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it was a ton of fun.
That's cool. Is that the only thing you've seen in the Egyptian room?
No,
I saw
I've
bare
seen
naked
at
ladies
least
at the Egyptian room.
Ooh.
That was
two
a
or
good
three others
concert.
there. I like B&L.
Yeah,
I really do.
I got nothing bad to say about them.
It's a little shameful. I think their music is a little
Little novelty.
mainstream, and also novelty. Yeah, the sound of it is very mainstream. The band themselves are novelty.
Some
in
of the
some
deeper
ways.
cuts on some of their albums are pretty good. There's I can't think of any, but there's one that one of them is like a he wrote after one of his sons was born, which I thought is really pretty. I can't remember what it's called. It's called, I think it's When You Dream, maybe, but it's like the last song on one of their more. I think that was the 1 week album, yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, I can't remember any of the names of their albums,
Right.
but
I
I know almost all the lyrics to the first.
It's like I
3
owned, I think,
albums
4
by
different
heart.
live albums, but the only one I can think of is Secret Samadhi.
Live?
Yeah, but there's
I
but
thought you meant like live Bare Naked Ladies
the
albums.
band live.
Like, I didn't know they
I
made
owned,
that
like,
many.
but I couldn't I really.
Throwing Copper is the first.
Is that the
No,
Lightning
it's-
Crashes one?
I think it's their second one. Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. Live is fucking amazing. Live is
Yeah,
incredible.
really good.
I saw
I had
them
a bunch of their
live in concert at an X Fest one year.
That's cool.
That's
X Fest.
X Fest. They were
Holy
probably
shit.
the best band there, just because Ed Kowalczyk is a fucking beast on mic. He's like Florence from Florence and the Machine.
'cause he
Sounds
belts it,
exactly
too.
like he does.
He belts it.
Yeah, he's incredible.
What
Was there
what-
were other
what?
there were other questions?
Yeah. What was the last concert you've been to?
Jesus Christ, what was the last concert I've been to?
It's weird that I can remember 90% of my concerts, but not the more recent ones.
I've
I've had some near misses with Black Alicious and Florence and the Machine. We've been we got this if they come within 150 miles, Florence went to Chicago and I think the tickets sold out almost instantly because we were willing to drive to Chicago. But I don't know, man. It's been I haven't seen a concert in 5 years. Probably.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably a PAX or like a Walker Stalker Con, but those aren't really.
No,
Yeah, you're
I
right.
did see the
Concerts.
Proto Men at a dive bar in
Yeah.
Kentucky. about 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That was right around that. I think that was the same year I saw the Florence and Machine concert that I about lost my mind. The Lungs tour.
That might be the real last one I've seen. Last concert I've seen is that Florence one.
Really? It was like
I think so.
It was like
7,
8 years ago.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. Yeah. I mean, I've
I
seen.
can't believe you guys went without me.
I've seen shows in bars and stuff like that, but nothing that I set out to see from a band I knew, and they were like, oh, opening act, headliner, these kind of things. Like, PAX isn't even really that. It's just like they've got 7 people who are going to play tonight, and
right.
Oh, I guess Manimals.
Oh yeah.
But
that's the thing.
again,
Like,
we
if you
didn't
went to a con concert.
go out.
The Manimals 7 performance at the first. That was the first Thrones
Con of Thrones.
Con of Thrones. Yeah.
oh yeah.
That was pretty good.
What is the next concert you're going to go to?
Nothing on the horizon.
There's a lot of people I'd see, but they're so fucking expensive, man.
Well, yeah, and then there's like
I could see. I almost thought about seeing Run the Jewels because they came to that. What is that? What the hell?
Bonberry.
Bonberry, whatever the.
You said it right, I think.
Series at,
No, I said Bonnaroo. That's not right.
No.
But it's something like Bunbury or something. Like it's a Cincinnati music
Burberry.
festival. Is it? I don't know. But I would love to see Run the Jewels. Love to see Black Delicious, Florence Machine, of course. I kind of want to see Lizzo. If she ever came to town. I'd see Kanye West in a heartbeat, but it cost like $1 million to see.
Bunbury is right.
I came within who knows, minutes, hours. We waited all fucking night of seeing Bone Thugs and Harmony in a pizza joint in Columbus, Ohio. One weekend. We heard they were going to be there. We went there. There were a whole bunch of you could tell California producer type people rolling in, and we sat there from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. waiting, and they never fucking came on.
Aww.
And eventually, I was like, man, we got a 2-hour drive home. If we don't leave now, I'm gonna fall asleep. I don't know if they're coming out in 2 minutes or 2 hours.
Did you
or
find
never
out ever?
I never found out.
Because that's the thing. Nowadays, you just get on the internet. People would be blowing up their social media at the bar, and people would be like, "Just bull." Or you.
Well, they closed off the bar. We knew ahead of time, 5 hours ahead of time, and we went in, and they closed off the bar. And if you stayed there, or the pizza joint, if you stayed there,
it'd be wild if they took the stage 4 a.m. and just melted everyone's faces.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it.
But still, it's by that time you're so pissed and tired.
Right.
Right. Not even having fun anymore.
Yeah.
What is the best concert you've been to?
Man, it's real hard to beat Florence and Machine. But I also went to the Monsters of Metal tour, which was a Guns N' Roses Metallica doubleheader at the RCA Dome, at the Hoosier Dome. And that was, I think I was maybe 17. I went with my buddy James, and it was amazing. It was fucking amazing. Because
that's back in the 90s. That's back when Metallica was the biggest thing ever.
I think that was during their Black Album tour. And Guns N' Roses would have been too. And the thing is Axl Rose has a grudge against Indianapolis, or against Indiana, that he grew up in Indiana, and they took the stage super late, maybe even an hour late, and the audience is kind of rowdy. And then he came out and talked a whole bunch of shit about Indiana.
Why
and
you
how much
go?
he hates this state, and how we all got our heads up our asses, and got a bunch of boo. And they played a short set and were fucking out of there.
Why did he even play Indiana?
Because he's fucking. I mean, that's the thing. How old is Axl Rose? 23. I don't it's I'm not saying that it was right or cool, but whatever. How are you supposed to handle that kind of fame and you had 70,000 people screaming in an arena? But Metallica came out, I feel, and they were fucking professionals, and they were awesome, and I felt like they played an extra long set to make up for it. They played everything.
Do you remember what did they come on with? Did they just melt everybody to the floor?
It wasn't Sandman, but it was maybe it was Wherever I May Roam, because it was one of the hot ones off of the.
It's a tamer Metallica
Well,
song.
you gotta build that energy. Wave.
I thought you'd nail some. Like everybody's super excited, nail them with something, and then bring it down and
they did
build
Fade
back
to
up.
Black. They did One, which was amazing. Everyone, like all the big anthems off of Black, like Enter
Right.
Sandman, and what was their emo one? Unforgiven.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must have been before the
When was that?
King Nothing, Fuel, Unforgiven 2 era. It had to be before then.
I think it's 91. I'm seeing 91, 92.
Oh yeah, it was way before then. That was like the year that Black Album came out.
That makes sense. Did you say your best concert?
Man, it's tough. I went to a Bush concert around the Golden State era that I really loved. It was like right after Golden State came out. They were touring for that one. So they didn't do, they did a few songs off that album, but it was also a lot of their old hits. That was cool. There was this great Incubus concert I went to at, Verizon, Deer Creek, whatever, where it was kind of like overcast most of the time, so it wasn't super hot out. It was in the summer though, and they played all their hits and stuff, and then they got rained out temporarily, and so they had to leave the stage and shut down the concert for like 30 minutes or so, and then they came back on, and like it was still very like humid in the air, but very cool, and like all the clouds were still up there, but it wasn't raining anymore, and they came back on and they played Riders on the Storm, which was just fucking perfect.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
that was a really cool concert. I saw Tool there as well. That was good.
I saw Against Me. Are you familiar with Against Me? I saw Against Me at Rhinos in Bloomington.
Rhinos?
Mm-hmm. So all ages.
I've never seen a concert in Bloomington.
Oh, it's like a all ages. You don't have to be 21 to get in there.
Ah, gotcha.
God, that was fucking amazing. I was with my brother at the time, and it was just like inside of Rhinos.
No longer your brother? What?
I'm no longer with my brother right now. He's not here. It's such a small and intimate space that it was just really impactful.
Yeah.
It's for all this music that just really resonates with you, and to just be there so close to them.
Yeah, I like those small venues. I saw Tift Merritt she's a country singer, but it was a very intimate show at Radio in whatever what the fuck is that place called in Indianapolis? Southwest side or southeast side?
Southeast.
Yeah.
Bloomington.
Fountain Square.
Fountain Square.
Greenwood?
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, a little venue there. That was cool.
That's cool.
Those are good.
What is your worst concert?
I don't think I've been to a bad concert, cause like I'm pretty selective. Like I don't take flyers on people that might.
Yeah.
Like the only way a concert would be bad is like if the sound is mixed bad, I guess. Cause like if you, who have I been to? I feel like there's one concert I went to where I was bummed out because I couldn't understand like a lot of the lyrics. Like it was mixed really poorly, and it was just very muddy guitar sounds and over loud drums, and I couldn't hear the singer, but I can't remember. Didn't make a big impression on me. It might have been a cover band, honestly.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the name of the band. Shit, it wasn't Imagine Dragons, but it was a band like that I went to with an ex of mine years ago, and I really only went because she wanted to go, and that was just a bummer of a time for me because she was partying up with one of her friends. I was just like,
yeah,
whatever. I don't know. I'm here. I don't care.
I'm remembering all the concerts I've been to now. They're coming back to me. I saw Tilly in the Wall at the Vogue. That was incredible. Ooh, who have you seen the most? Have you seen any bands multiple times? You've been multiple times?
You've been to Dave shows?
Huh?
You've been to DMB shows?
Dude, that was a JW staple, man.
Oh, right.
Take a car, and like I was completely innocent to all the pot smoking around me. and all the drug use that, like, in retrospect, makes perfect sense to be some of the bizarre behavior I saw. But yeah, there was probably a stretch of 5 years where I probably went to 4 out of 5 because they just kept coming to Deer Creek, and it was a super good time. Like, I love their music. You knew exactly what you're going to get. You knew exactly what it was going to sound like. There's going to be a lot of unplanned jams in between sets and set pieces, and good time.
Went to a Fish concert with
Sober?
Jared once. Yeah, I was pretty sober back then.
That's what I'd love to see DMB, like, with the appropriate accoutrement.
Right.
That would be.
I didn't eat any of the balls that they try and hand you.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't try
balls. There's fish balls going around.
Oh, you don't know about the balls at the Fish concert?
I
forget what they're called. They have a name, but yeah, people just stuff drugs into essentially Rice Krispie treat balls. I can just eat them and you trip the fuck out and listen to Fish play one song for 19 hours.
Ever eat some random drug infused
See, you're not a fish
food.
head.
No.
You're not a fish head.
I guess you're right. If that's a prerequisite, then I never will be a fish head.
I had a roommate who very much was.
I'll keep my human head, thank you.
Yeah.
He ate the ball?
Oh, I'm sure. He's eaten many balls. All filled with different things, I'm certain.
Finally, what is a concert you haven't seen but want to?
Haven't seen but want to.
I think you just named a few, like Run the Jewels and Lizzo and all that.
Those.
I don't know. I mean,
Black Alicious has been my white whale because they came and did a Columbus concert the year that the Gift of Gab came down real bad, like had to have a kidney transplant, and it got canceled. But I was like all set to go there, and they didn't like when I was really into them, they were doing more tours of like the California and the West. They didn't come out as east of the Mississippi as often as I'd like them to. Yeah, I'd love to see them because they're also getting old. Shit, like I said, Gift's like he's 5 years out from a kidney transplant.
Yeah. Did you answer that question?
No, but there's nothing on the horizon for me. I'm not really looking for concerts.
Okay. Josh Heater, I think I'm on the same page with you in terms of my feelings on the current and future Star Wars movies. I'll go and see them, but I'm pretty meh about it all. With that in mind, if you could pick any showrunner, producer, director, whoever in Hollywood to do a Star Wars movie, who would it be? And
has Rian Johnson done one yet?
I actually read in a headline that Kevin Feige is going to be headlining a Star Wars movie, which feels like, I mean, that guy's got the magic touch. If he's into a property, I think he knows what would be a good one.
Yeah, that's the most no shit pick of all time.
Yeah. Because, I thought Rian Johnson, I really was expecting to like Rian Johnson's take on Star Wars. I was excited for the Double D's crack at Star Wars. I thought that was a good fit. Cool. I enjoyed Abrams. I'm excited to see what he's coming back. But, I don't know. Like, what do you think about the Damon Lindelof gritty, spiritual take on Star Wars?
Nah. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah?
It's like that. No, like Vince Gilligan. No, just they don't scream Star Wars to me.
But like someone has done a lot of genre work, like Alfonso Cuarón?
Holy shit! What would that even look like?
I don't know. He did an amazing, like one of my favorite Harry Potters.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did the third one.
He did the third one, which I think
just
is
know
the best,
him from, like,
the best
Gravity
looking, best just purely standalone film.
Huh.
That would be interesting.
The second part of that question is, what would the in-universe time and setting be?
I think it's got to be the Mandalorian timeline, like that. Right after Jedi, but before like the universe, because you still have pockets of Imperial resistance, but you've got more like out Jedi potentially, like seeing different weird Jedi tradition. Like I think that's the best. The classic trilogy era.
Yeah, that's a great one. You'd have to tell, obviously, the different stories in that universe because we've visited that so many times at this point. But like maybe the KOTOR era,
that was probably going to my next timer. Yeah,
that thing where Sith were around and Sith were out there, and it was an active thing that they were worried about, not just like, They've gone away for 1,000 years or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And that's a great thing. You can
cool.
go back 1,000 to 5,000 years in Star Wars history, and it's still going to be recognizably Star Wars. You know, they're kind of Game of Thrones that way, and there's got a weird technical stasis, and you know, everything's kind of matured, but
it's all just a long time ago.
Yeah. And you know, it's like most of the galaxy's pacified, but you still got the outer rim, got the rough and tumble hut tease sections of space. Got the stuff dominated, like you said, by the Sith. That'd be cool.
Do you guys? It's 2:30 now. Do you guys want to go long?
Do a couple more.
We didn't do a lot of questions since you guys were busy talking about your life-changing events.
Boring. Yeah, let's do a couple more. And
then... Okay. Eric, can we get a Tesla update? Anything you weren't expecting, good or bad? And did you get a 50 amp 220V installed in your garage to charge it?
No, I did not, because I found the solution to my power problems. I was having a problem where if we turned on the microwave while my car was plugged in and charging, it would trip the breaker. But it turns out there's nothing really on other than my garage doors on my garage door circuit. So I just plugged it into where the garage door openers plug in, and it's fine now. And it's actually more convenient as far as not having to stretch a cable across the garage. So got that sorted out, and I've never seen the use for a 220. Like, I drive 12 miles round trip to work and back. You know, I go out for lunch. I drive to friends' houses on the weekend. I drive out to movies. Never had a problem just plugging the car in at night and having it charge overnight. So no. Although I will say the one thing I don't like about it so far, feels like a bug, but it might be a feature, is that whenever I plug my car in at night, in the morning when I come out and it's fully charged, the charger won't unlock from the car without waking the car. So I can't just walk up to the charger, hit the button, and pull it out. And the button on the charger itself doesn't wake the car. So
why is that, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's because when you're out and about, you don't want people unplugging your car. And so it stays, because they lock the charger in the port when it's charging.
Yeah.
I don't really know why they don't unlock it when it's done charging, because I don't give a shit if somebody pulls the charger out when it's done charging.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe people would get in a fight over it. You fucking touching my car? I don't know.
I think it has to do with like locking the port so you don't like arc electricity when you pull it out and it's actively charging. And if the car is not awake, it doesn't know to unlock it.
I will say, because I finally got to tool around in your Tesla a little bit, the single most impressive feature I thought was the glass ceiling. Like, you don't expect it to just
I love the glass ceiling.
Like, you don't, from the outside, feature. you don't expect the entire, like, it's hard to describe what that's like. It's just, especially when it's daylight out, it's just this panoramic bubble you're in, but it looks so, like, that just gotta shatter into a million pieces. If like what happens in a hailstorm? Like, you get golf ball sized hail, that's just gonna be shattered, right?
I imagine, yeah.
Is that like some kind of crazy Gorilla Glass that can take like a hammer to it or something?
I'm sure it's like tempered and,
or maybe it's like laminated,
strong.
so it'll just spiderweb crack. But it's just so unbroken and pure, and I've never seen it in any other type of vehicle.
It makes it feel really big and open.
Yeah,
when you're sitting there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still
the 3D
really love
fart
the car.
effect is pretty cool too.
Yes,
it's a feature where you can have farts, so you can tie it to your turn signal. Whenever you turn the turn signal on, it'll fart. It'll play a fart over the speaker system, or you can have it where you can fart on demand. But you can switch which speaker it comes out of. Yeah, and I was having fun with that.
It's very convincing. It sounds like it's coming from that quadrant of the vehicle. That was cool.
Shaka Bry says, my question prior to hearing your 2009 Watchmen movie coverage is, what the heck is wrong with Zack Snyder? 300 and Wonder Woman were pretty cool, but everything else is like an unfinished roller coaster that starts in the middle, runs off the track, flies to the moon.
Had nothing to do with Wonder Woman, did he?
I don't know.
Anyway, sorry.
Garbage storytelling expects you to be unquestionably on board with his scatterbrain style. Maybe I've oversimplified. Actually, some of the scenes in Watchmen are pretty watchable and pretty cool when taken out of context. Have you rewatched the Watchmen movie yet in preparation? Am I way off mark here?
Not yet.
I really like The Watchmen. Now, it sounds like you might have like saw the ultimate director's cut, which I've never seen, and it may be kind of a mess. Like that might be more for like the ultimate Watchmen purist, because I thought the original film was really good. And I've heard it said a lot, and I don't know, because now that I've reread Watchmen, because I remember when I read Watchmen, I've said this a bunch of times, probably said it in the original Watchmen review, that like I wasn't super impressed. I thought the art sucked. I thought that the Black Freighter shit just destroys the pacing of like the narrative. And I read it recently, like a couple of months ago, and I really appreciated the like multiple lanes of bandwidth that Moore is using to tell the story, and found it very immersive. It's still I still think it completely destroys the pacing of the narrative, but like the second time through, when you already know the narrative, you get a little bit more patience to take that. I could see if you just saw the full deal version that has all that Black Freighter stuff, that it would be a very sloppily paced like slog. But I don't know, the cinema version I thought was pretty good. One of Zack Snyder's better films, maybe his best one.
Even bad directors have a couple of good movies. Like you can get lucky as a director.
Sure.
And I feel like that's Zack Snyder.
And I think he's a much better adapter than he is. He's like a double D kind of. He's much better with that than original material.
Yeah.
Okay. Final 2 questions. They're rapid fire ones. Plagues kill. Hey Jim, I'm curious, how many burritos do you average a week? What's your go-to order these days?
Average is probably 4. And my go-to order has been vegetarian. I know.
Well, what happened? Ooh. What happened to the 5th day?
Leftovers happened. We started cooking dinner every night, and you know, there are leftovers most of the time. There's only enough for my girlfriend to eat, or my fiance at this point, to upgrade. Eat. Yeah, and so I didn't eat them, but like once a week there's like enough for both of us, so I'll eat those. I don't know, but yeah, my go-to order is the sofritas burrito.
Nice.
Now I've cut the meat out of my lunches. Sofritas with brown rice, the fresh tomato salsa, whatever they call it, sour cream, cheese, lettuce. That's it.
I do miss the sofritas because I'm soft boycotting Chipotle now, and I've moved my allegiance to Currito.
Oh yeah.
But their tofu option's not nearly as good.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Is it cubes?
Yeah.
'Cause I don't like. I don't know why, but the shape of the tofu matters to me.
No, I think the sofritas,
like the
that's like the perfect, and they spice the fuck out of it, so you
do.
Like it's not bland and it's got a nice texture to it. I don't know. I'm really excited because I think someone's going to come up with like that impossible chicken, because those chicken strips are solid. We got some from the supermarket and made stir fry, like a General Tso style stir fry. It's really good. Like
nice.
It does chicken strips really well.
Were they super expensive, or are they...
Oh yeah, like twice as much as like conventional chicken.
Yeah.
But I could see that being a really attractive option, just because I usually get chicken the places I go to. I would absolutely start doing that. Or if Chipotle quit fucking me on my pickups, I'll go back to sofritas.
Let me talk to him.
Somebody, man.
All right. That's it.
That's a lunch.
That's it. That's a lunch.
There was one more, but all right.
I said that's it.
That's it. She called it. It's done. Over.
All right.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. See you later.
We're going to give the contacts again.
Lunch. # bald lunch, or forums.baldmove.com. There's a thread.
Current date. Today's date. See ya.